Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dana, and on this channel I am documenting my plant journey in hopes to help other people along with their journey. I'm not an expert on plant care, but I just want to share, things about what's going on with my plants and how I take care of them and what works and what doesn't work. So today, there's a couple of things going on. I got a lot of things going on today, but one thing is I want to get my Alocasia Black Velvet repotted. She has been in this pot for a while, and I've talked a little bit about her in my last video. So in this video, we're going to be repotting her and getting her into a no drainage vessel, as well as I'm thinking of putting the baby in there with her. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, but I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and try it, put the baby in there. And then also, hopefully, we'll find some corms. We'll harvest some corms, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then I will walk you guys through the whole process of propagating corms and getting them to grow, how to set up your prop box, and everything that you'll need for that. So hopefully we'll find some corms in here and I can walk you guys through that. And I'm also going to take you through the other stages after the corms grow and what I do with them next after that. So yeah, so stick around to the very end of this video because you will see what it's like after growing corms if you're not familiar with growing corms. I know when I first started, I saw lots of videos and lots of people saying different things, and it still was hard for me. I think I killed like my first set of corms, and I just didn't really understand the process. So I'm hoping today that I can help anyone who's never propagated corms from allocations before and help them out in the most simplest way that I can. So with that being said, she is in a 6-inch self-watering pot that I bought from Amazon. I did not have time to order like a bigger pot. If I would have ordered a bigger self-watering pot, which they're like $34 on Amazon, a self-watering pot, I probably would have got a 10-inch so that I wouldn't have to repot her again, because I feel like if she goes to an 8, she might as well go to a 10. So instead of getting a self-watering pot from online or something like that, I'm going to be putting her in this jar that I got from the Goodwill for $2.99. And I'm going to turn this vessel into a no drainage self-watering container for her. And I had some people ask me, how do I know which plants do I want to put in a self-watering or no drainage, and which ones I shouldn't put in no drainage? I get tongue-tied. I have dyslexia, but that doesn't stop me from talking. But anyway, you have to go with your intuition on plant care and how your plant behaves. This particular plant drinks a lot of water. Because she drinks a lot of water, I think she will be fine in a no drainage vessel. I think that she will keep up with the amount of water that's in the vessel. But I'm going to show you how to turn it into a self-watering no drainage vessel. First, let's go ahead and I am going to set up the pot first. And I'm going to be using soil because she likes soil. So I'm still going to keep her in soil. But what I'm going to do is put a layer of leca at the bottom. And that's what's going to create the self-watering part, right? Because and I always have a bucket of pre-soaked leca. So that's what's going to create your drainage, right? That's going to be the layer that's going to protect between your roots and the water. Okay. Nice even layer. of leca on the bottom, about that much. And the water will sit down here and then it will soak up in the soil. So her roots won't immediately be sitting in water at all. She'll just rest. And once her roots do reach down to the water, which they already have in this vessel, her roots are, which is why I know she needs a repot. Her roots are already made it down into the water. So these are water roots that she has already down there at the bottom. Now that that's set up, I think I'm going to put a layer of my potting mix in there, which I keep a tote pre-mixed already. And what's in here is Fox Farm soil mix, a little bit of charcoal, horticultural charcoal. I do have some stratum in here. It's not flugel stratum, but it's a different brand. A different brand of stratum. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more rounder. I don't know. It's my first time trying that out in here, so we'll see how that goes. Even though I repot them often, maybe at least I plan on repotting them once a year, so it should be fine. And I also have some cocoa core chunks in here, I believe. Some perlite, some chunky perlite in here. It's a little bit of leca. It's a little bit of everything in the soil mix. It's just well draining, chunky. I'm going to put a layer down on top of that. On top of that leca. Okay. I think that's good. Hopefully she'll have enough room to grow and maybe not too much room. But with this vessel being clear, I can keep my eye on her. So, of course, you guys know how it goes. I'm going to be inoculating this with Dino Myco. This is root crack. I'm just going to sprinkle some down on there. That's where her roots are going to sit on top of. Now that that's prepared, I can take her out of the pot. I'm going to take the bottom off first. If I can. Okay. Wow. All right. There's her roots down in there. And let's see, I want to take this moss off. Just like my frolic that I repotted on Facebook. If you guys aren't following me on Facebook, please follow me on Facebook. Is Swing Into Plants on Facebook. I'm going to be very careful to get her back through here. I'm not sure if I can, to be honest with you, because the holes in the bottom of this is kind of thin. But we'll see if we can get her through there. I'm not sure why only this side has roots coming down. I don't know. Not sure. But let's get her out of here. Enough talking. I was waiting on her to push out another leaf. So this leaf, the last leaf that pushed out, this big gigantic leaf, is covering the newest leaf that came out, which is this one, smaller. But she's just going wild. She's just crazy. Like, That is not cute. What are you doing over there? I don't know what she's doing. But um I thought I saw another leaf coming out or getting ready to come out. Yes. Well, it looks like either she's about to flower. I can't tell. It looks like a leaf. Looks like a new leaf. All right, let's try to get her out of this pot. I'm going to gently squeeze on the pot because she has been in here for a while. And we are going to try to work her out. Okay, we're getting to the roots down here. Slowly removing them. I'm pushing the roots through the hole as best as I can. Trying not to lose any. All right, that was successful. Yeah, okay. Her roots look really good. They look good. I'm gonna break some of this up. And the soil is damp, so it feels nice and moist. So that's how she likes it, because she's doing just fine. Her roots look healthy. They look good. I'm gonna reuse some of this. Break up what she's got going on. I have some of her corms already in a thing, but I was hoping she had some more down in here. Try to loosen this up a little bit without breaking anything. I definitely want to get that string out of there. And I'm just gently massaging. Oh, she's moist. This soil definitely stays moist. Oh, we have a corm. We have a corm. Y'all, when I repotted my product, or Michelana, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook, a couple of days ago, I pulled off this fat, juicy corm. Why the hell did I lose the corm? I don't know where the corm is. I have no clue. So I'm going to put this right on top of there so I don't lose it. It was a nice, fat, juicy one. And for the life of me, I don't know if I threw it away. I just can't find it. And I looked everywhere for it. I don't know what I did with it. I don't think I threw it into the I don't think I threw it into, maybe I did put it in the tote already. I don't know. Maybe I did. I have to look and see. Matter of fact, I did. I believe I did. All right, she has okay. She had a deaf pod, but look at that. The pod just came right on out of there. Pod's out. Pod came right on off of her. I don't know how much I want to loosen this up. I just want to get this string out. I'm trying to be very, very careful. I guess this is a corm. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a corm that's trying to develop. I don't know. I never understood what those were coming out of the side of her, but I thought they were corms. They just look funny to me. Her root system is massive. I just really want to get this string out there. All right, string is out. And I'm guessing she's just going to give me that one corm, which I'm good with. No other corms. Okay, so what I am going to do is definitely going to use fertilizer, slow release, because I think it's been long enough. It's been over 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and I am going to reuse this because she's done well with it. But I'm going to place her. Look at that root system, though. That's incredible. That is incredible root system. I'm going to put her in here. So she's definitely a good size for this. Her roots, this is definitely a good size for her. I'm going to put a little bit about this back in there because it does have a lot of what she's used to already in there. And I've changed potting soil mix a few times since I potted her up. But since she's already used to this and she likes it, I'm going to use it. I'm going to mix some new stuff with it so she gets some new nutrients as well. But this has a lot of charcoal in here, which is why I really want to reuse a little bit of that. And I'm going to give her some fresh stuff as well so she can get some new nutrients. I'm making sure she's in the middle in here. She's been very easygoing, especially living in the cabinet. So I'm definitely going to keep her in the cabinet as long as I can. I have no interest of taking her out of the cabinet. I am burying all of the adventitious roots that she's grown out since she's been in here. Just pressing that down. I'm going to put some more Osmo Coats Plus slow release fertilizer in here. Oh, y'all almost let me forget about the baby. I'm going to forget about the baby. Let's get the baby in here too. Look at the baby and her roots. Isn't that cute? I'm just going to plop her right on over here, right next to the mama. Real close. Okay, put some more. Right on top. I am thinking about making a separate nutrient solution for all of my alocasias. I think they're just way more hungrier than the rest of them. And I think she pushed out this leaf because I was using some extra nitrogen. I think it's called N something. I can't think of it right now, but okay, I think she's in there good. And I'm not going to do the moss just yet. I'll do the moss when I see her stem growing upwards a little bit. But all of her roots that she developed are down in the bottom. I think that looks good. I can keep my eyes on her root system, and hopefully she'll fan out some more with this. I don't think she had any more corms. Make sure I'm not throwing away anything, but I don't believe she had any more. You never know. You just want to be careful before you throw away anything. Okay, so anywho, I'm going to talk about one more thing when it comes to the Alocasia Black Velvet. And this is something that I really, really couldn't find on YouTube when I first was getting started. And I was very interested in a couple of different alocasias. So this is the Alocasia Black Velvet. There is a very similar, another similar alocasia out there called the Ninja. The Ninja, and I have both of them in my care. So I want to go over the differences that I'm aware of and that, you know, that I know, because I just couldn't find a really good video on that subject. I want to pull that down. Okay. So this is my Alocasia Ninja, which looks very similar to the Black Velvet. And I got this one at Lowe's probably 2 months ago. I got this from Lowe's, and she's put out 2 new leaves in my care. She's put out this one and this lovely thing here. So yeah, she's also very thirsty, very thirsty. She's in a self-watering pot. She is climbing out the bottom as well, and fairly easy. She also has moss around her top area as well. And the difference that I noticed right away after having this for a long time is the shape of the leaf. Okay, let's talk. So the textures are the same. The pattern looks almost the same, but the shape of the Ninja is much, much rounder. Much, much, much more rounder than the shape of the Black Velvet. The Black Velvet has this football shape. So it comes down into a point where this remains kind of wide and then comes down to a point. Another difference, I believe, would be the dark border around the edges. So they kind of both have a dark border, But one of these is supposed to be like this one is supposed to have a very distinct border around the edge of it, a very distinct white border around. They are very, very, very similar. But I do know the most distinctive would be the shape of the leaf, the roundness of the leaf. So side by side comparison, that is what it looks like. And they're both beautiful plants. Very, very, very both beautiful. I guess the veining would be more distinct in the black velvet. The veining is more in your face. Not a lot of difference, but the biggest difference I can tell you is the shape of that leaf. I just knew immediately when I saw this that it wasn't a black velvet, that it was definitely a ninja. So yeah, they're both from the same family. They're both hybrids of, and I actually can't really, Regina, I think it's called, the Regina Alocasia. I don't know. But yeah, there it is. All right, so now that we have one corm, I am going to show you how I would set up a proc box, and it's really simple. It's really not that hard. I still don't know what this thing is. Honestly, I don't. I have no idea. If you guys know what that is it a corm? Let me know. It's just weird to me. I don't know if it's just the beginning of some roots. I don't know. But anyways, so what I have here is literally a daily tray from Kroger's. It had chicken in it, and I think it's a great pot box. It does have some slits on the side of it, but if you are looking for like really, really high humidity, I believe you can just tape that off. Just tape it off. But I don't see anything wrong with having the slits in there. It keeps you from having to open the box constantly. You can literally just shut it and wait until some leaves pop out. But anything with a clear lid, I suggest you can also use the totes. You can use the totes that have clear lids on them, but for the most part, you can just use something that you already have at home. Something with a clear lid on it is what. So I'm going to be using this one as a demonstration today. So you get your little prop box. You're going to get you some perlite. Get you some perlite. And I recommend not getting the really big coarse perlite. Get you some fine perlite. This is a little bit finer than most, but I'm just going to put a layer. Nice little layer down there. Like that. And then, and a lot of people, just don't know how to get this done. But you just put your perlite down there on the bottom. Put your perlite down there on the bottom. Get you some water. You can use regular water. I just use the nutrient solution water that I have. Just pour that on in there. Just enough to kind of get it kind of soaked. Sometimes I do put this in the microwave just to get it a head start on warmth. I'll zap it for maybe like a minute, maybe 45 seconds. I'll zap it and get it already warm. But it's pretty not dry. It does have some dampness in there, just enough. And I'm going to take the corm. What did I do with the corm, y'all? Oh, I'm going to take this corm and I'm going to break off the bottom part. So this long part right here that was connected to the mother, just going to break that off. So that's the bottom and this is the top. So that was the bottom and this is the top. And I'm just going to lightly scrape. You can soak this in some water and, you know, if you want, but I'm just going to lightly scrape the brown off. I just find that they kind of root faster when you do that, when you scrape the brown off. And be careful not to hurt the very tip of the top of it, because that's where, you know, your leaves are going to come out of. So I'm just scraping the brown off of it, and it's like just like an acorn. If I could describe corms to anybody, I would say imagine the plant is a chicken and corms are the eggs. And you just go harvest the corms, and then you're going to, instead of the mother sitting on it and giving it warmth and letting it hatch underneath the mother, it's going to be surrounded by perlite or whatever substrate you want to use. Some people use flugel stratum. Some people use moss. Some people use plain water. I have only had success. I'm not going to say only. I do have one corm that's in my plant room in moss. However, it is not my preferred medium for corms. Perlite is. So now that all of that brown stuff is off, you're just going to place your corm into the perlite and lightly bury it. Surround it with the perlite, leaving the tip unburied. Just like that. All right, can you see? Just like that. It's buried in there, but the tip is showing. So I think I have enough water in here. It's not really. You want to make sure it's got enough. Yeah. So the water probably comes up about right here. It's very low on the bottom. But then I'm going to place the lid on here. And I'm going to sit this on a heat mat. Let me grab a heat mat for you so you can see what I'm talking about. That's the only thing I forgot to bring over here. So 1 second. You want to sit this on top of a heat mat, and this is the heat mat right here. It's what it looks like. You just plug it up and it stays warm, keeps your plants warm, or whatever you want to put on top of this warm. And I just sit it on top and put it under some grow lights and let it grow. So, and I just leave it alone. I just leave the prop box alone pretty much. My other prop box that doesn't have any slits or anything in there, I would occasionally take the lid off just to give it some air, let some air circulate inside of that box. But other than that, you just leave it alone and let it do its thing, and it'll have some condensation going on inside of it. As long as there's condensation going on, you can tell that your medium is still moist. It doesn't need to be moistened again. But you do not want it to dry out either. Don't want it to dry out. So if you don't see any condensation inside of your container, then you might want to add some more liquid in there because you don't want it to dry out. So I think that's it for now. So the next part of this video, I'm going to be showing you my corms after they have, I guess, essentially hatched, or and what I do with them after that. So yeah, we'll get to that part. Today, I have to get this done. I've been putting this off for a while because I wanted to film it, and a lot of times when you're doing stuff around the house, you know, if you're a plant parent, you guys know that you just do it in the moment because it needs to be done. But I have been waiting just so I can film this, and yeah, so today is the day. Excuse me. So what we're going to be doing today is going through my prop boxes for my alocasias and getting them potted up. They are in desperate need of either transferring to a bigger vessel or coming into the second stage. So I do my props for my corms in different stages. First stages would be I put them in perlite, and that's what this one is. And I also set it on top of a heat mat, and I make sure that it has some light as well. So it gets a lamp light over it. And I have so many corms in here. I don't even know how many are in here. But there are some in here in all different stages. I have some that are ready to come out and move to the second stage. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And then my second prop box is the second stage. And these are ready to move into my third stage, which is putting them into bigger vessels and letting them develop bigger and better roots and moving them out of this so I can move these into here. So I need to do these first. I'll do these first and then these second because they need to go inside of here. So I've had these in here for quite a while. I did not want to move them. Let's take a look. Okay, so I have longalobas and some caprias in here. That's what I have. And they have been in here for a while. So I have put them into flugel stratum, and I'm still going to keep them in flugel. I'm just going to give them a bigger vessel and move them to my grow cabinet. So you're probably like, well, what am I going to do with all these corms? I do plan on selling some of these corms this spring. I am going to keep one. And these are my longalobas. Yeah, so today they are getting a big cup. And literally I bought these. I like these clear cups. I got them from, one second. Okay. Got these clear cups from the Dollar Tree. So they're not really expensive. The flugel I just wanted them to kind of like not be used to 100% or 90% humidity. What When you do that, you do have to pay more attention to the flue because it dries out so fast when you don't have a cover or it's not in a cabinet. It dries out like every other day. And I think I left it too long the other day and I came back and they were all droopy. So I had to hurry up and get them watered, and I'm threw the top back on so they could recover. But you have to pay attention to that when you got the lid off, that you are keeping your eye on the flugel and make sure it doesn't dry out. And that's the one thing I do like about flugel is that you can tell when you need to water again because it looks just like this. It looks gray. It looks gray and dry. So it's really easy to figure out if your plant needs more water or not. And one of these I do plan on keeping because I do have two already. I have the parent plant, of course, and then I have another baby that I had bought, and I had bought both of them from the Green Escape. The mother plant, she just wasn't doing well. I think when she came, she had a fungal issue, and I was very new to the plant life, and I just didn't know how to fix it. It's just every leaf that came out was just had some type of fungal issue on there. I did chop it down to 2 leaves, and now it has given me 2 more leaves. And she's doing well. She's doing well. And then the other one is just a really slow grower to me. Like I feel like these have grown more than the other one that I have. So I was planning on keeping one of these because I feel like these are a little bit stronger and might do better for me. So, and it's always fun to keep a baby. Then I'll put them all in the same pot. I'll get them all in the same pot. But as you can see, this is a really simple process. And we'll be doing the same with the other ones. I would sell them at this stage, but I'm not going to get that much for them. And I feel like the work that it takes to actually get these corms to pop, take care of them, look after them, is worth more than $3 or $5. So the reason why I'm waiting till spring is so that they will be bigger, and I can at least yield $10 each for them, or swap them out at a swap party as the plan. I'm just not ready to like give them up at this stage because I don't think I would yield any type of good profit or anything unless someone else has a baby alocasia that they want to swap with me. And I really can't think of, I don't have a wish list, alocasia wish list right now because I have like 47 different alocasias, and I think the only one that I would probably be interested in is like the dragon's breath. I think that's probably the only one that I can think of right now. 2 more, and then we'll move on to the babies. Now this mother plant, the Longoloba mother plant, she's not doing well either. So I don't know. I feel like the younger, I guess, when you get them at a younger age, that it'd be easier to take care of them because they're acclimated to your care or whatever. And then sometimes I feel like they need to be a little bit more mature um, in order to really thrive in my care. So it's just a hit and miss, a hit and miss. But hopefully that the one of these baby longolobas will do better for me. And I'm actually going to keep several of the longolobas together, probably about 3 together. I have a total of, I want to say 20 longoloba, maybe more corms than that. I'm just giving this a little bit of nutrient water to, not much. It doesn't take a lot. I'm not going to drown the substrate in nutrient solution. I'm just giving it a little bit because once it dries, you'll be able to tell it's dried out, and you just water it more. I'm just making sure that the bottom substrate, the new substrate that I put in there, is wet. Okay. Last one. But as far as the care for these, once they get into the grow cabinet, it's pretty easy. They don't get as dried out in there. I do have to move. Ooh, this one has a nice root system. So nice. I do have to move some of my bigger plants out this week if I'm going to put these in there, because I just don't have the room in my cabinet, and some of my bigger plants are really outgrowing the cabinet anyways. So you can do this with perlite. You don't have to use flugel. You can do this with perlite as well, or some people use soil and whatnot. But so I actually don't have any more of these little cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7, so I'm going to rinse these out. I'm going to rinse those out and reuse those. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. Let's look in here. See, it's time to look at the babies. The babies. Let's see. Longolobas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope we have enough. If not, I'll figure out. I'll probably just cut a cup and get this situated. So these are going in the cabinet. Okay. All right, so just going to fill this up about halfway. Let's get the biggest one out. And I'm just going to plop that down in there. She's looking mighty healthy. And if you saw the root system on these that are coming out, you see that they're not as much as the ones that I just had in the other one. So I'm just going to put, when I have this in the box with the lid closed, it definitely keeps moist longer. So I'm just filling that up halfway. And I'm going to carefully pluck them. And plop that down. Fill up around them. I think when I first started, I really didn't understand how to get a corm to grow. And I probably killed about 10 different corms that, could have been something. Now I'm kind of upset that I really just couldn't grasp it at first. I had some black velvet corms at the beginning, and some of them just didn't make it. But all I would say is you get you some perlite and get the fine perlite, the small perlite. Get you a clear box. I recommend one this size. Go ahead and get one this size because you need room for the leaves to grow. You don't want to. When I first started, I had them in like I don't know, even smaller than the shoe box situation, right? I had it in like a tackle box situation, and the corms outgrew those fairly quickly. So I have invested in larger boxes because I have a lot of alocasias and I have a lot of corms. So I wanted to give them room. And another thing I did, and I'm going to highly recommend doing this, is when I first started doing the corms, I did not label them, and it took me forever to figure out what corms were what once I had them in my cabinet. And I just had to wait for them to kind of get more mature before. Now I can look at them, some of them, and I can tell what they are, but in the box as corms, you really want to mark them. So I have them all like segregated in different spots, and then I have the labels in front of them. So I think I'm going to leave those last two in there. And just take this one. Now I know there's plenty of methods out there. You do what's comfortable for you. And what do you think is best? But yeah, so get you some perlite, get you a box. I do put this on top of a heat mat and I keep it moist. So I put water down here at the bottom, and keep it on a heat mat and light. That is important. That is important. Let's do the black velvet, pink black velvet. I am excited to see this one grow out so I can make sure that I actually got my money's worth. So I ordered this corm for $85, and it's supposed to be a pink black velvet. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what a black velvet corm baby looks like. So, and the reason why I say that is because, when I had my black velvet corms growing, I couldn't tell what they were either until they developed the fuzz, the velvet. The velvet came much later than the leaf, the original leaves. So I couldn't tell what it was until the actual leaves turned velvet on me. So that's why I say I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it could be. I'm hoping it is. Really hoping it is. The stem is pinkish, but you know, you never know. But I will keep you guys updated on what it is. If you guys know what a black velvet, pink black velvet should look like, and let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. That is a way. Corms are actually a way of getting, you know, expensive plants a whole lot cheaper. Now, what I really was wanting to do is get these Cooperias out of here because they're not doing so well in here. I think they have edemia. I think it might have been too wet for them inside of this box. So their leaves have, uh, yes, that's what edemia. It's like it's just too wet for them. But they will recover. They will recover in the other box. It was just too wet, too moist, too humid inside of this box. So this leaf will go and a new one will pop out. So I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it. It will bounce back. But I wanted to get them out of here so that they could recover. See, I don't know if you can tell, but this little tiny one, zoom in, Dana. This tiny one right here is a black velvet, and you can see um it doesn't have the fuzz on it, but I can tell now after I went through the process of the first one that it is a black velvet because it's a green leaf, but it has the shape for one. Two, it has these little shadow, like a gray shadow, almost like a 5 o'clock shadow on it. So that's how I can tell with that one. You know how they say like the runt of the bunch usually comes out to be the best one. This is probably going to be one of that. This is a runt, and I think it'll probably come out as the best one. When we will see. Now, as for the rest of these, I'm just going to let them continue doing what they do, and yeah, so I think that's all. I'm going to move those into the cabinet, and these are going in the room, and these are going back on the heat mat under the light. I have plenty of corms in here that are getting ready to do something. All right, so thank you for joining me in this video today, and I'll see you guys another time. But if you are interested in more alocasia care, check out this video here, and I'll see you next time.